there is a silent thief that robs us of our peace, our confidence, and our joy. That thief is comparison. We measure our worth by what others have do or become. We question our dreams because someone else is living theirs differently. But the Stoics warned us that comparison is the killer of progress. It traps the mind and poisons the heart. If you truly wish to rise, you must free yourself from this trap and build your own steady path forward, brick by brick. You feel that your dreams are smaller. Your talents seem weaker. That is the poison of comparison. It plants seeds of doubt, and these seeds grow until they choke your confidence. Stoicism teaches that your mind is your own kingdom. You rule over it. If you let comparison take control, you surrender your kingdom to an illusion. Because that is all comparison is, an illusion. You can never see another person's true struggles. You cannot see their hidden fears or silent battles. You only see the surface. And yet, you measure yourself against that false image. Seneca said that we suffer more in our imagination than in reality. Comparison is a perfect example of this. It turns your imagination against you. It makes you believe that you are not good enough, even when you are trying your best. You forget what you have already conquered. You forget the praise you have earned. You ignore your growth. And so, doubt eats away at you until you can barely move forward. When you feel this way, remember the Stoic lesson. Look inward. Ask yourself, what can I control? You can control your own actions. You can control your own effort. You can control your own choices. That is what matters. When you focus on these things, self-doubt begins to fade. There is no need to compete with the world. You are not here to defeat others. You are here to master yourself. The path to freedom begins with self-respect. Do not let the brightness of another person's moment make you believe you are in darkness. You have your own light. Protect it. Nurture it. Self-doubt will always try to creep in when you compare, but you must guard your mind. You must stand tall and know that you are enough, just as you are. Then, and only then, can you truly keep moving forward. Lesson 1. Destroys unique journey's comparison, crushes the beautiful, unique journey that belongs to you and you alone. When you compare your life to someone else's, you forget that you were born with your own gifts, your own lessons, and your own mission. You are not meant to live a copy of another person's story. Stoicism reminds us that we must understand our own nature and follow our own path. Epictetus taught that every person has a unique role in the universe. When you look over your shoulder at what others are doing, you step off your own track. Imagine running a race where you stop every few seconds to watch someone else. You will stumble and fall. Life works the same way. If you keep measuring your every move against others, you will not see the progress you are making. You will miss the little victories that belong to you. Your milestones will lose their meaning. In this way, comparison destroys your own adventure. It leaves you blind to your purpose. A flower does not bloom worrying about another flower. A river does not flow worrying about another stream. You, too, must walk your path without fear or envy. Stoicism asks you to embrace your destiny fully, without apology. Let the world be as it is, and you focus on your steps, your dreams, and your peace. The moment you break free from comparison, you will rediscover the joy of being uniquely yourself. You will see how far you have come. You will see the lessons that made you stronger. You will see the courage that carried you through storms. Comparison would make you throw these gifts away, but you cannot allow that. You must protect your journey with fierce determination. Trust that your path has a reason. Trust that your story is being written in a way that only you can understand. And trust that no one else's journey can ever replace your own. Lesson 2. Fuel self-doubt. When you compare yourself to others, self-doubt grows like a shadow. You begin to question your worth. You start thinking that you are behind. Lesson 3. shifts focus externally. Comparison steals your attention from the only place where real change happens, within. When you look at others, you turn your focus outward. You waste precious mental energy worrying about what they are doing, how fast they are growing, what they are achieving. But Stoicism teaches that progress begins inside you. Marcus Aurelius wrote that it is not events that disturb us, but our judgments about them. If you judge your worth by the world outside, you will always feel disturbed. You will feel restless and dissatisfied. You will chase goals that are not even yours. You will make choices based on other people's opinions. Your peace will break. Your spirit will weaken. Comparison builds walls around you, trapping you in constant observation of others. You become a spectator instead of a creator of your own destiny. That is a tragedy. When you focus externally, you cannot hear your own voice. You cannot see what truly matters to you. You forget to ask, "What do I want?" You forget to listen to your own dreams. In this way, comparison blinds you. It steals your attention away from your mission. A Stoic would say, return to yourself. Look inward. There is where power lives. There is where decisions are born. There is where courage wakes up. When you focus on your mind, you can see what is good and what is harmful. You can see your strengths. You can see the skills you still need to build. But if you spend all day looking at others, you will never have time to improve yourself. And so you will remain stuck, chasing illusions instead of working on your true growth. Reclaim your focus. Choose to watch your own progress. Measure yourself against your own past, not against another person's present. In this way, you stay true to your purpose. You build a solid foundation, and you protect your peace from the endless noise of the world. Lesson 4. Ignores personal growth. Comparison makes you forget about one of the most important parts of life, your personal growth. You were born to evolve, to learn, to transform with time. But when you compare yourself to others, you miss these changes within you. You judge yourself by someone else's timeline. You ignore the quiet progress that is happening in your heart and mind. Maybe you used to be afraid to speak up, but now you can. Maybe you once felt broken, but now you stand taller. These are real victories, but comparison blinds you to them. You stop celebrating the small moments of courage. You stop seeing how you have become wiser. You look at another person's highlight and think you are failing. This is unfair to yourself. Stoicism urges you to honor your own growth. Every lesson you have learned matters. Every hardship you have survived matters. Your path is not about speed or applause. It is about steady growth, one day at a time, one step at a time. Comparison forces you to ignore these personal milestones. It makes you believe you have not moved at all, even when you have climbed mountains. You forget the strength you have built. You forget the pain you have healed. Stoicism reminds us that the only progress worth measuring is progress of the soul. Ask yourself, am I more peaceful than I was before? Am I kinder than I was before? Am I braver than I was before? These are true measures of growth. They cannot be compared to anyone else's. No one can take these away from you. When you compare, you stop growing because you stop noticing how far you have come. You break your own motivation. You doubt your own steps. And then you stand still, paralyzed by shame and fear. Do not let comparison do this to you. Protect your growth with love and respect. Celebrate your own story. Look back and honor the person you have become. This is the Stoic path, to focus on your own journey, to nurture your own progress, and to never let another person's story steal your joy. Lesson 5. Creates false metrics. Comparison forces you to measure your worth with numbers and standards that mean nothing. It creates false metrics that trick you into believing you are winning or losing. Maybe you count likes, followers, or money. Maybe you count titles or fame. These are shallow measurements, and they are easy to fake. You look around and see people ahead, so you freeze. You think you are too late. You believe there is no point trying. You stand still because you feel defeated before you even begin. This is the great danger of comparison. It kills momentum. Stoicism teaches that action is the cure for fear. You must keep moving, no matter what others are doing. If you stand still, you will rot inside. Your skills will fade. Your confidence will shrink. Your dreams will wither. When you compare yourself endlessly, you hesitate at every step. You become afraid to fail. You become afraid to look foolish. You wait for perfect conditions. You wait for permission. And so you do nothing. This is how comparison leads to stagnation. It makes you forget that progress is built on trial and error. Progress is built on mistakes, on small experiments, on courage. You must move even if you are unsure. You must move even if you are afraid. You cannot wait until you are better than everyone else, because that day will never come. There will always be someone ahead in some way. Stoicism reminds you that you must measure only against yourself. Did you act bravely today? Did you show up for yourself today? That is enough. If you keep moving, you will keep growing. You will stay alive in your spirit. You will keep hope strong. But if you let comparison freeze you, you will sink into bitterness. You will watch life pass you by. That is the true tragedy. So break this chain. Move forward in your own way. Small steps matter. Tiny victories matter. Each day is a chance to build something new. Never let another person's speed or status convince you to stand still. Action is your freedom. Use it, no matter how small, and you will keep progress alive. Someone might look successful on the outside, but feel lost inside. Someone might seem powerful, but live in quiet fear. When you compare, you trust these illusions. You believe these false numbers matter. But Stoicism teaches that the only true measure of a person is virtue. Are you just? Are you wise? Are you courageous? Are you disciplined? These questions matter more than any scoreboard. A Stoic would say, measure what is real. Measure the strength of your character. Measure the calmness of your mind. Measure the goodness of your heart. Those are your true metrics. When you compare yourself to other people's false trophies, you forget what truly matters. You chase hollow goals. You sacrifice your peace. You sell your time for approval. You trade your freedom for applause. And then you wonder why you feel empty. It is because your scorecard was a lie. You cannot live with joy if your only happiness depends on these illusions. They will always change. They will never be stable. But your values, those are unshakable. If you measure yourself by your own growth, your own efforts, and your own integrity, you will never feel small. You will never feel worthless, because you know you are living in alignment with what is right. Stoicism asks us to see through the illusions of society. Do not get trapped by them. Do not let them steal your soul. The moment you stop chasing false metrics is the moment you begin to breathe freely again. You see the world more clearly. You live with greater honesty. And you remember that real success is measured only by the courage of your heart. Lesson 6. Leads to stagnation. Comparison stops you from moving forward. It traps you in a cycle of hesitation. Lesson 7. Hinders innovation. Comparison is the enemy of innovation. When you constantly measure yourself against others, you limit your imagination. You start thinking that the only way to succeed is to copy what is already working for someone else. You become afraid to try something new because it might not match what is popular. When you watch others succeed, you might feel that life is unfair. You might begin to think, why not me? This seed of resentment can grow until it twists your view of the world. You see others as enemies instead of fellow travelers. You feel bitterness toward their victories. This destroys your inner peace. Stoicism teaches that another person's success does not steal anything from you. Their light does not dim yours. Their progress does not block your road, but comparison makes you forget that truth. You start believing there is only so much good to go around. You start thinking that if someone else wins, you lose. That is false. The universe is wide enough for every dream, every success, every joy. Resentment only hurts you. It burns you from the inside. It robs you of your energy. It makes you hard, closed, and cynical. Marcus Aurelius said that you should not be surprised by other people's fortune, nor disturbed by it. Their fortune is their own path. Yours is different. If you focus on what you can do, you will build your own blessings. You will create your own opportunities. But if you waste time feeling resentful, you cannot see what is good in your own life. You miss out on gratitude. You miss out on serenity. You lose the chance to grow. That is the price of resentment born from comparison. You become smaller while thinking you are protecting your pride. Stoicism asks you to celebrate other people's victories with a clean heart. Applaud their journey while honoring your own. Be happy for them, and you will stay light. You will stay open. You will stay kind. Do not let comparison poison your spirit. Release envy. Release resentment. Remember that what is meant for you will come. Until then, keep planting your seeds. Keep tending your garden. Your harvest will arrive, and you will welcome it with a heart that is free of bitterness. But Stoicism teaches us to live in accordance with our true nature, not in blind imitation of others. If you spend your life following someone else's ideas, you will never discover your own. You will never test your own strengths or find your own genius. You will simply repeat, echo, and blend in. The world does not need more copies. It needs bold, authentic voices who are unafraid to challenge the rules. Comparison silences that boldness. It makes you play small. It tells you that you will fail if you do not follow the same path as others. And so you stop experimenting. You stop dreaming. You kill the spark of creativity that lives in every human being. Remember, all great thinkers were once doubted. All innovators were once told their ideas were foolish. But they kept going because they were focused on their own vision. Stoicism would tell you to do the same. Trust your reason. Trust your observation. Trust your ability to solve problems in your own way. The moment you stop worrying about other people's opinions, you open a door inside you. Your mind can explore. Your heart can explore. You can take risks that might look strange, but turn out to be brilliant. You can test your skills in places others fear to go. Comparison closes that door. It chains you to the same tired solutions. It makes you afraid of standing alone. But progress comes from brave thinking. Progress comes from originality. If you want to make your mark on the world, you must let go of comparison. You must trust that your ideas are worth exploring. Even if they fail, they teach you something no one else can teach. This is the real spirit of innovation. It grows in freedom, not fear. It grows in courage, not comparison. Remember that, and you will unlock talents you never dreamed were inside you. Lesson 8. Breeds resentment. Comparison is a quiet poison that breeds resentment in your heart. Lesson 9. Wastes valuable energy. Your energy is precious. It is the fuel that drives every dream, every goal, every act of courage. But comparison wastes this valuable energy. It turns your mind into a battlefield of doubts, fears, and judgments. Instead of using your strength to build, you use it to measure, to complain, to resent. You forget your values. You forget your voice. You silence your heart. This is the ultimate cost of comparison. They showed us how to stand strong, how to see clearly, how to stay true to our own nature. You are here to live your own story, not to copy another's. You are here to build, to grow, to transform. That is your mission. Every time you catch yourself comparing, pause, take a breath, remind yourself of your own journey. Measure yourself against who you were yesterday, not against who someone else is today. Protect your peace. Protect your energy. Protect your dreams. Life is too precious to waste on illusions. Stay loyal to your own path, and you will discover a strength beyond what you ever imagined. This is the promise of Stoic thought. It is not about being cold or emotionless. It is about being rooted, being stable, being fully alive in your own skin, on your own terms. That is true power, and that is true progress. Let no comparison ever steal it from you again. Stoicism teaches that you must first care for your own soul. You must live in harmony with your own principles. If you always prioritize others, you will lose yourself. You will drift through life trying to please the world, but you will never feel whole. The world will always change its rules. It will always demand new things. You cannot chase these endless demands. You must stand still inside yourself and know what you believe. That is the only way to live free. Comparison robs you of that freedom. It makes you a slave to approval. You shape your dreams to match the world's expectations. You sacrifice your peace to gain applause. But this is a betrayal of your own spirit. You were born with a unique calling. No one else can live it for you. If you keep placing others first, you will abandon that calling. You will wake up one day a stranger to yourself. Stoicism asks you to remember that your first duty is to your own character. Are you honest? Are you strong? Are you loving? These questions matter more than anyone else's praise. When you place others above yourself, you stop asking those questions. You break your own heart trying to chase perfection that is not even yours. In the end, you will feel hollow. You will feel tired. You will feel resentful. You deserve better than that. You deserve a life where your voice matters, where your dreams matter, where your peace matters. This is not selfishness. This is wisdom. When you take care of yourself, you become strong enough to help others in a true way. But if you sacrifice yourself for the world, you will have nothing left to give. Let comparison go. Stand tall in your own values. Let your choices come from within, not from the noise around you. That is how you live with dignity, with courage, with deep and lasting peace. This is a tragic waste. Stoicism teaches that our resources, our time, our energy, our thoughts should be used with wisdom. They are limited. Once gone, they cannot be recovered. If you spend them comparing yourself to others, you are throwing away your most priceless gifts. Imagine what you could do with all that energy if you turned it inward. You could learn a new skill. You could grow stronger. You could build habits that bring peace. You could help others with a generous spirit. But when you compare, you drain yourself. You fight shadows instead of building your legacy. You let your mind travel endlessly down roads that lead nowhere. Seneca warned that life is long if you know how to use it. That means focusing on what you can control. Comparison is something you cannot control because you cannot control other people's lives. So why waste your energy worrying about them? Instead, place your effort where it matters. Water your own seeds. Strengthen your own heart. Train your own mind. Every minute you spend on jealousy is a minute you could have spent on growth. Every second you spend wishing you were someone else is a second you could have used to build your best self. Protect your energy like you protect your life, because they are the same. Without your energy, you cannot rise. You cannot fight. You cannot heal. Do not let comparison steal it away. Stay focused on your mission. Stay rooted in your truth. Pour your strength into what truly matters to you, and you will find a calm power that no one can take from you. That is the Stoic way, to guard your energy so you can live your highest purpose with courage and peace. Lesson 10. Prioritizes others over self. Comparison forces you to place everyone else above yourself. Their needs, their opinions, their status, all these become more important than your own life. Comparison is the killer of progress because it chains your mind, it blinds your heart, it steals your freedom. The Stoics showed us another way.